Get ready to be absolutely charmed by a young man affectionately called Doug G. In 2005, Doug was a computer programmer living in Washington, D.C. Like many of us, he kept asking if that's all there was to life. Where's the joy in all of it? The answer came for him when he was invited to participate in what is called Deeksha, which is the transference of energy through an adept's eyes or hands into another person's field to help them expand their consciousness. For the first time, he felt unbridled joy and decided then and there this was his life's work. His journey took him to India, where he studied for years with the master of Deeksha, Sri Bhagwan. Much to Doug's surprise, he was chosen from among thousands to become one of a handful of people to administer Deeksha to individuals and groups around the world.
One thing that should be known is Deeksha is actually nothing so new. In very, very ancient cultures, that was always understood somebody who was very passionate to grow in consciousness or to awaken. I guess in modern day terms we'd say seeking enlightenment. They would actually go off and they'd find somebody who was matured or flowered in that state of consciousness. The way that was understood in the very ancient cultures was that states of consciousness can actually transfer. And you can figure that out any day of the week at your work environments. You go sit next to somebody who's in a bad mood, you're not feeling so good. Go sit next to somebody who's in a good mood, you're feeling great. These great masters, what they would do is they'd be in such a flowered state that when the disciple or seeker of spirituality would be ready, they would then move into a very high awakened state and transfer the state. That transference of the state was referred to as Deeksha, which would then literally turn on the spiritual energies in an individual, which actually is what they call the Kundalini, that spinal spiritual energy. It would turn it on. And it would be the master's job to make sure it starts flowing properly, which would elevate that seeker's state of consciousness in the higher states, and would eventually lead to a shift in the brain actually. It actually changes in the brain have to happen. Actually a physiological, irreversible change would shift. And suddenly the sense of separate existence, the me and the not me, dissolves. So that was how it was done in the ancient times for this thing called Deeksha. The only downfall in the ancient time periods was to go see a master was very difficult. And if the master even would give it to you is another bigger question. And he would probably only give it to a handful of people who were very serious. So it wasn't readily available and was always very specific. That's the problem. The time period we're in right now, the entire species is needing a shift in consciousness. That's what's going on. We see very clearly that all the technology on our planet and the genius of humanity is all intact to make us persevere and to live on this planet in a very harmonious way. What's missing is a state of consciousness to where a person actually feels connected and in love with other people. Right now we feel very isolated from each other and we're sort of in competition to each other. It's a state of consciousness. It's a change in the brain that has to happen.
This is a beautiful story of a soul that showed up in an open and earnest way to receive the blessing of joy. For the full interview, go to cmn.tv.